Hi, I'm Alan Guedes. I will talk a little bit about declarative programming of TV applications using NCL. This is a little agenda of my talk. I first will introduce my lab, then I will talk what is NCL, and then I will discuss some final remarks. My lab is a research lab at the Pontifical University of Rio de Janeiro. It's a city that is known for its nature and football. The lab was founded by Professor Luis Fernando, and today is headed by Professor Sérgio Coxa. We have a long history of research in interactive multimedia, but more recently we also have some researches in multimedia analysis using machine learning. We also have a little history of partnership with CWI. We work together in some papers. We organize a docking engine one time here in Brazil. We also organize some special issue regarding structured multimedia. But more important about this relationship is about our two declarative multimedia approach. They're very similar. First, CWI worked in Smile. That's XML based, has a layout control, and has an interesting media synchronization using composition sync arcs. Moreover, NCL is very similar because it's also XML based, also has a layout control, but differ regarding the multimedia synchronization because it's used an events-based relationship that I will talk a little about in this presentation. So what is NCL in a matter of fact? NCL stands for Next Context Language. As defined by Maxner, NCL is a multimedia, an interactive multimedia presentation standard, as like Smile. In this paper is a good review of all declarative multimedia since the hyper-video approach to just multimedia presentation approach, and all this work inspired in some way NCL and Smile. Here are some examples of NCL usage in Brazil. In the top left, we see some news information and some guidelines to users to see content in the TV. In the top right, you see information about a soccer game. In the left bottom, we see some information to user about characters in a soap opera. In the right bottom, we see some weather information related with the content that the user is seeing. NCL is not just a standard; it's also royalty-free and it's open source. For instance, it's listed in ACM, SIG, MM, one of the main open source projects in the multimedia field. It's a standard in Brazil since 2007, adopted today in more than 14 countries. Among the countries are South America countries and Africa countries. And today we have some millions of devices in Brazil, which is NCL is installed as a supported language. It's also a ETU standard since 2009 among different groups, for IPTV group, for broadcasting group, and the broadband cable and TV group. NCL elements try to answer 4 questions: what present, where present, how present, and when present. The first element that we'll talk about is media. That is try to answer the what question. The second element is region. That's try to answer the where question. And the third is the descriptor. That's trying to answer the how. And link trying to answer the when. First, we'll talk a little bit about these the three first ones. The NCL media element consists of a content agnostic node. What it means? It means that its content is not important for the multimedia presentation. It should be integrated easily in the presentation. For instance, it can be the TV stream, a TV stream video. It can be a video, an image, a text, subtitles, HTML content, even imperative content like Java and Lua scripts. It's used descriptors and region elements to be presented. For instance, in this example here, we have a V1 video that has a descriptor D video. This descriptor informs to the player that when presented, it should have a fading effect. And then we have this RG center that defines the center of the region of the screen where the video should be presented. Here we have an NCL document for this application. It should have two main parts. First, the head part, where are the reusable elements such as region and descriptor, and then we have the body part when is defined the media elements and the link elements as well. Here we see the region that defines the center of the screen that answers the question where. Here we have the descriptors that defines that it will use the center of the screen, and that defines the fading effect to be used. And then we have the media element that use that descriptor and defines that a specific video should be used. Now we take a little bit about the link. Link consists in a causal relationship among nodes. What it means? It means that will be a set of conditions over nodes and a set of actions over node. And when the conditions are satisfied, the set of actions should be applied. Here we have a simple example of a sequence of video, audio, and an image that use two NCL links. The first link consists on an on-end start. It means that when the video ends, a specific audio will begin. The second link defines the same behavior. When the audio ends, an image will start. Here we have an example of NCL document that show the usage of links. First, we have the three media elements that we just mentioned: a video, an audio, and an image. And then we have the two links. The two links have the same reusable behavior on end start. The first link defines then when the first video ends, the audio will start. And the second link means that when the audio ends, the image will start. So these links defines when the nodes will be presented along the presentation. To finish the talk about NCL links, we need to discuss a little bit about its usage over media anchors. In this example here, we have an NCL link that defines when the video starts, the audio will also start. This NCL code does exactly that. We have the media, and when the video begins, the audio will also begin. When you define the on begin just reference to the video element, you are saying that at the time 0 of the video, the audio will also start. But it's possible to define anchors in the media. These anchors may have a begin and an end. And the same link that we just defined can be referenced to this anchor. For instance, here we use the interface attribute in the onBegin part. So that means then when that period of the time during the presentation of the media starts, the audio will also start. The usage of these media anchors is very important. The NCL player has features to receive NCL commands from both broadcast and broadband. So it's possible that the NCL document may be edited in the runtime of its presentation. This command, also called NCL editing command, may perform add an interface in a media. For instance, here we are adding a enter that's called add, and begin is now. Let's refer to the time of when the NCL command will be performed. This means that the broadcaster can precisely say when something may happen in the application from their from their server, even if the server is the broadband or the broadcast. Here we discuss a little bit how we develop some NCL applications. Here in telemedia we have two types of programming tools. First we have the textual tools like the NCL Eclipse. That's an Eclipse plugin that's easy supports the editing of NCL documents. We also have NCL Composer that has a set of views that the user better understands the structure of an NCL document. We have this layout view that shows the region, and we also have the structure view that shows the links and relationships among the nodes. We also have a node programming tool that we call ESB design that use a metaphor of storyboard that connects a set of sequence, a set of scenes in sequence. So my final remarks now. First important mention that we must talk is about NCL versus HML. That's a common language used in smart TV. NCL NCL receivers are much more cheaper than smart TV. For instance, here in Brazil, there is some receptor that was distributed with a low cost for poor families, doing the switch off of analog sign-in to digital sign-in. An important feature in these distributed receivers is that they have some social impact applications. When governments develop applications about information for jobs, health, and funding for these poor families. Moreover, NCL is lightweight and can be embedded in different types of device, like mobile phones, portable device, and set-top box. Other important scenarios that are not discussed here, but are important to mention, is regarding second screen, when you can use a remote region that presents some content, some media content, like some HTML or Java or another content can be delivered to another device to be presented and remain the same synchronism in the whole presentation. Also, we can use stereoscopy content by using the mirror source, that some kind of content is replicated, and we can create the left eye to be presented in a stereoscopic enabled TV. And we also can use multisensorial effects when you define different types of media that will handle effects to be executed in the living room. For instance, here we have an example. In the 10 seconds, we will have a wind. At the 13 seconds, we will have a light. And in 7 seconds, we will have a smell. So thank you so much for your time. And I think I really appreciate this participation. And I'm be available for any doubts that you guys have. Thank you so much.